Hello, fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today to share with you the finish of one of my kits. So I'm so excited that this one is finally done. So you can see here, I had a bunch of ABs that I was adding to my Sunday Delight, which was one of my Spangler kits. I also have several fairy dust drills that I added in here. And I have three actually that I ran out of. Three fairy dust drills that I ran out of. Some of these I replaced one-to-one. Some of these I replaced just kind of randomly sprinkling them in. The 150 I sprinkled in, that was in the wallpaper, you'll see that. The 906, the green, I sprinkled that in, that's part of the dragons. I think the ones that I ran out of, I pretty much substituted one for one. Except the Z300. I think I didn't have enough of those. And you can see, like this one, I have very few drills left. So some of them just got sprinkled in here and there. But I think it added a lot to the kit, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I've got all these ABs and fairy dust left over that I can put back in my storage for that. And you can see here, I had plenty of drills left of every color. I didn't run out of anything. Some I might have if I hadn't been substituting, but I had plenty. So I have leftover ABs that I will be adding to any of these if they fit. I think 103 is 666. I think I have that one pulled out. And then the other ABs I will put in my baggies as well so I can save all of the ABs. So this kit came with those 4 ABs, which was quite a bit, and then I added all of these. So it's super sparkly and I'm really happy with it. Like I said, I had plenty of drills. I didn't run out of anything. Now, I will say this is a kit that I bought, I think in 2022, late 22, early 23, somewhere in there. It was not terribly gappy like my previous spanglers were, my older ones from 2020. So I think it's a case of Diamond Art Club kind of tightening up the canvas. Still a little bit gappy, but not as bad. And it was not as trashy. Now, this is a smaller kit than those other two, so that may be part of it as well, but still way less trash. So various little strands here and there, and some of them have tabs. There you can see that one right there has tabs on both sides. Some that are kind of stuck together. You can see some of the ABs are stuck together. That one has like a little spot on it. But really not a ton of trash. This kit is 56 by 56, somewhere in there. So not a ton of trash for the size of kit that it is. So I was super happy with that. All right, let me grab the kit and we'll look at the finished product. So here is the finished kit. It's slightly too big to get it all on the screen. So I've taken some B-roll that I'll throw up there while I'm talking so that you can see. But just a few things. So you can see here in the wallpaper, in this section, I kind of threw in some ABs. I threw in some extra ABs on the little draglings themselves. I threw in a lot of extra ABs on the cherry jar. There were several reds some that I sprinkled in like this behind the cherry label, and then some that I just completely substituted for ABs. Some ABs added up in the little leaves there as well. And then on the little cherries, you can see they already had the white ABs for like the little light reflection, but then where it was the lighter section, I just added in complete ABs, and then the darker ones are actually the fairy dust drills. I actually had a lot of fun doing this one, although you were right, I was hungry through this whole thing. So I actually started at the bottom, and I'm glad that I did. So by the time I got up here to the top, it was a lot of multi-placing, and so finishing it went quite a bit faster. There is a lot of confetti in the ice cream container here, in the cherry jar, even in the chocolate syrup and the nuts, little bag of nuts here, and of course in the background as well for some of the shading and things. Not as much confetti at the bottom, which is where I started. So you can see here at the bottom, there's a lot of like the table that all this is resting on, the banana, the 3 cherries down here, again, where I substituted a lot of the ABs. I substituted some fairy dust drills in the chocolate syrup here. Now, I will say that the colors on some things are a little off to me. So I feel like this bowl is mostly blue and gray, but if you look at the original image, this bowl is kind of white, like a whitish blue. So I'm not quite sure why they chose to make it gray, unless it was because that fit in with like the silverware at the top and some other things, and so it let them lower the number of colors. But I don't like how dark this is. I wish they had left it the way it was in the original image so that it was more white than gray. I substituted in some fairy dust drills in the ice cream, and then there were, I don't know if these are supposed to look like, I'm assuming little nuts, pieces of nuts on here that are like one of the ABs, but I feel like the ABs make it look a little weird. They're yellow, and again, that may have been a choice because the yellows got used elsewhere in the dragons and things, but I just feel like they should have been maybe more brown than yellow. I don't know. It's not as gappy as the other Spanglers that I did, and it's super cute. So I'm really happy that I did this one. There are a few places where I was multi-placing, like you can see right here, there's some gapping in between some of these drills right there. There's some gapping in the background as well. It's a little harder to see in the background stuff because it's more confetti. So the more confetti it is, the harder it is to see. There's a little bit of gapping up at the top in a couple of places where I was doing some multi-placing for the wallpaper, but I actually think it looks okay with the wallpaper, so I'm good with that. So like I said, I had a ton of fun with this one. I enjoy Spangler's art. I've liked his art and his little draglings for many, many years. So this is Spangler number 3 for me that I have finished. I'm really, like I said, really happy with how it turned out. I had a lot of fun substituting here. There may be too much bling in the cherry jar for some people, but that's okay. It's my painting, so that's what I wanted to do, so that's what I did. I will say, as I go through all of these and I substitute in the fairy dust drills, I really, those are fast becoming my favorite because I like the AB drills, but because the AB drills have that extra coating applied, it just makes them that little bit bigger than the other drills. So for instance, when I'm placing ABs, I will do all the ABs in a section first because I know they're going to be a little bit bigger and it will be easier for me to fit in the regular size drills, the regular drills in between the ABs rather than me trying to force the ABs in between the regular drills because the ABs are just that tiny bit bigger. And the other thing with the fairy dust drills, they're not like that because the mica is mixed in with the resin. It's all part of it. It's not a coating. So they're more the size of regular drills, and you don't have problems with things sticking to it like you do with the ABs. I often get out my pretty placer. I can use a glue dot with the ABs, but if it's like a new glue dots that you've put in, it can pull the AB coating right off the drill, which is not what you want, obviously. You can try getting it wet and doing some other things, and I've done all the tips and tricks, but if I have a pretty well used glue dot, then I can use it with ABs without too much problem. But putty can be tricky as well. Just ABs in general are stickier for whatever reason. The coating makes them stickier, so it's harder to get them on the canvas and off of your pen or whatever. If you're using tweezers or something, then it probably doesn't matter to you, but for those of us who use pens and wax and putty, it makes a difference. I find that I just really like the way that the pixie dust drills look kind of better than the ABs. Yes, the ABs are very shiny and have the iridescent coating and everything, but I feel like the pixie dust drills, mica drills, fairy dust, whatever you want to call them, they're just a little bit more understated. So they add kind of a little oomph to it, but without being as in your face as the ABs, which I really like. So like I said, I really am happy with how this one turned out. It took me about 31 hours all told to complete it. I was trying so hard to get it done by the end of August. I almost made it. Then I got sick and I fell behind, but it was like a day or so after that that I finished it. And like I said, luckily I was at the top, so it was a lot of mostly multi-placing. There was some confetti with the leaves and stuff, but like these sections here with the wallpaper, that's a lot of multi-placing. So turned out super cute. I'm super glad I did it. Now I get to add it to my finishes. Move on to the next thing. So let me know down in the comments if you've done this kit or if you've done another Spangler. Would you ever buy a Spangler? I know some people are very into his little draglings. I know it's not for everyone, so I'm curious what the ratio would be. Leave me a comment down below and let me know. Would you buy a Spangler, or is this kind of on your no-fly list? That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.